What do all these technologies have in common? They use world-class capacitors made by Deki Electronics, India's largest film capacitor company. With more than 25% year-on-year growth rate since it began in 1984, Deki now makes nearly a quarter of India's annual demand of 5 billion film capacitors.
Well, see, when I started Deki, I had this small view that we should be quality-wise number one. We shouldn't compromise on what is delivered to the customer. That was one of my basics, and that we were able to establish to start with. And secondly, I wanted compliant in all manners.
A staggering 1.2 billion units a year come out of this compact, efficient production hub in Noida, going all over India and the world to some of the most demanding domestic and international buyers, to OEMs like Philips, GE, BAG Electronics, Havells, Osram, Surya, Anchor, Wipro, HPL, L&T, Halonix, Bajaj, Crompton and Orient. In India, Deki is also approved by Sony, Sanyo, Panasonic, Sharp, JVC, NEC and Toshiba. Begun in technical collaboration with Okaya Electric, Deki's story is that of a company with a continuous capacity for growth and an endless energy to excel.
It's the energy to be able to prove to ourselves that it can be done. We are up against global competition. In Deki, we always say all charged up. So literally the capacitors have charged us up, and I think as a team, that's the energy that we bring to work every day.
An apt analogy, because capacitors are the vital part of electrical and electronic circuits that store and release energy, or in other words, electrical charge. That makes them crucial components in a huge spectrum of equipment, where they perform a range of essential functions. Deki makes the entire range of both inductive and non-inductive plastic DC film capacitors in its state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. The key to this versatility is Deki's keen understanding of end-use applications and its instantly adaptable infrastructure.
So once you are understanding the application of customer, you have certain electrical parameters or the requirements what they state.
Easier said than done. Because while manufacturing capacitors is something many companies get into, the devil is in the details. A capacitor must do what it's supposed to do it under varying conditions, do it with precision, go on doing it day after day for years and not do anything else that is undesirable. When you add the additional goals of doing all this while keeping product size and cost down, that's where Deki comes out a winner.
Largest Indian company in single product manufacturing. Purpose is to be a company that makes India proud. The vision is to be the global benchmark in capacitor industry.
The proof of the product is in the rating. The company's quality system is TS 16949-2009 and ISO 9001-2008 certified by ESR USA. It's also ISO 14001-2004 certified from the Bureau of Indian Standards for Environment Management and ISO 18001-2007 for OSAS. In addition to this, Deki's entire range is RoHS and REACH compliant for the restriction of hazardous substances, and the capacitors are tested by RTL to meet International Electrotechnical Commission or IEC standards. These prestigious benchmarks are a matter of pride for the team.
जो हमारा प्रोडक्शन है, जो हमारा टारगेट है, मैं टारगेट अचीव से भी आगे चले जाते हैं।
16 अप्रैल 1985 को मैंने डेकी ज्वाइन की थी और उस कंपनी को हम मेहनत से, जो 15-20 लोग थे, मेहनत करके इस कंपनी को यहाँ तक लेकर आए हैं। अंदर से बहुत ज़्यादा गर्व महसूस करती हूँ, बहुत खुशी होती है मेरे को। इंडिया में ही नहीं बल्कि वर्ल्ड में भी डेकी का नाम है आज।
Where does that happiness come from? Well, lean manufacturing can be positive or negative. Do it right and you have a team that is all charged up. Get it wrong and your products may come out, but your team is as drained as the leakage from a faulty capacitor. The key factor is to understand that the products may be components, but the producers are whole human beings. That's something the team never forgets, and it's an integral part of the Deki vision.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of SME companies actually hire a full human being, but they only invite the hands and the legs and the eyes into the company. And they, in some ways, tell the guy, leave your brains outside, leave your heart out, leave your soul out of this. I think we are really extracting far more than that out of a human being. In Deki, we're trying to say, work with your soul. Imagine the kind of company you would like to build and be a part of that.
Deki's work culture is based on 5 key principles: respect for each other, belongingness, transparency, equality, and acceptability of genuine mistakes. You could think of this democratic, participative team culture as Deki's internal CSR. But in its outreach activities on women's empowerment and the girl-child's education too, Deki strives to do much more than just fulfill mandatory requirements.
Because Deki is a small, medium-sized company, my goal is that we could be, show other similar-sized companies that there is a way and you can start and you can actually be involved to make a difference in your community and environment.
Exemplary too is the way the company copes with shortcomings in the infrastructural environment for Indian entrepreneurs without losing its focus on employee comfort. Meaningful CSR, a good work environment, a preeminent place in India's film capacitor industry, and worldwide big-name clientele. This might be enough for many companies, but with 3 decades of excellence under its belt, Deki is constantly setting bigger targets for itself.
We want to be the lowest cost producer in the world in spite of being in India. And that's a matter of pride for us, and I'm quite sure that we will get there. Within capacitors, we don't only want to talk of cost leverage, we want to be very innovative. So we want to contribute to the world by bringing up new kinds of capacitors. So in fact, our target is 25% of turnover should come from new capacitors every year, and that's a very steep target. The idea is to not lose sight of innovation in terms of also new capacitors. And the third one is to leverage what we've learned in 30 years of capacitors onto other electronic components and products. We don't know what they are as yet, but in 10 years, I think we will be doing much more than capacitors.
In the computer age, if you click the button and you say, okay, I want the 10 top companies of the world, so it should figure there.
And we are sure Deki will do just that, because the biggest charge is not what they put into their products. The highest benchmarks are not what goes into their certifications, and the greatest value is not what comes out of their manufacturing, it's what comes from their people. Deki, charged with a mission to use teamwork, quality consciousness, innovation, efficiency, and respect for the environment to bring Indian power to the heart of the global capacitor circuit.